Hey everybody, this is my video about my story. Just to give you all some background, I already did a brief introduction as my first video, but I wanted to go a bit more into detail about me and why I'm making these videos. Basically, I grew up with my parents and my two siblings until the age of 7. Then my parents got divorced, remarried a couple of times each to other people as I grew up. Didn't really affect me that much until I was a teenager, and I became quite depressed after my mum's second divorce. Basically, it wasn't that bad, like the divorce. It was just the fact that, my mum became a single parent to 3 teenagers, and in her own way, we all had our issues. So I learnt to self-harm through watching a Hollyoaks episode, storyline about a girl who was doing that. And I quickly became quite addicted to it, found it a very good release. Not that I'm advocating self-harming, it's not good for your well-being at all. It's just at the time I was still a child and didn't really know how to express my deep feelings that I was having. So I took to that, and then when I was 16, I ended up in a mental hospital, resident hospital for 4 months. Took my GCSEs in there, and yeah, it was good in the fact that it stopped. I learned how to do mindfulness, I learned how to do Tai Chi, albeit now I can't really remember much about it because it's been like 13 years since that, so I can't really remember everything I learned there. But yeah, it helped me stop self-harming on impulse, and yeah, it was quite good for that reason, basically. Unfortunately, at the same time, I got into smoking, peer pressure at school, and it was another way of coping. I also developed tiny patches of what I didn't know then, but has become severe psoriasis. So looking back now, I'm thinking that was my trigger. My teenage years were my trigger for the psoriasis. Bit shocked because no one else in my family has this condition apart from me. So for all that doctors say it's hereditary, I don't really believe that because I'm the only one with it. So yeah, didn't really know much about it. The doctors just said, oh, you've got psoriasis, you can have it forever. This is creams, these are the UV treatments you can have, all of that stuff that they tell you that you should do. Nothing was mentioned about diet, nothing was mentioned about smoking, nothing else was mentioned. I basically spent the last 10 years researching my condition myself, and yeah, so it was hard enough as a teenager not self-harming, and then not being able to wear the clothes you want to wear, become the young woman that you want to be, because you're now covered with this embarrassing, ugly skin condition and no one else understands it. So to be fair, I didn't really feel like I had much of a chance coming into being an adult, but that's over and done with now, so it is what it is. I also got told I had IBS at the time. The high level stress I was going through, I was in the bathroom quite a lot. I had bad reactions to Weetabix, so I don't ever eat Weetabix anymore. Nothing, my health wasn't really that severe, like, it was only my skin that really bothered me, because I was always self-conscious as a child, and not only did I have a few scars from self-harming, it was like, oh, like, anytime I decided to do that, it was healing as psoriasis, known as the Koebner phenomenon, or whatever it's called. So yeah, that was, in a way, it's kind of a good thing because it stopped me self-harming in some ways, but in another way, it's kind of like it feeds that, like, when you already have negative thoughts about yourself, it feeds all of that. So yeah, I kind of felt quite alone with it, and I still really do, because I don't know anybody in my life who goes what I go through. So yeah, that's quite difficult. The emotional side's really hard, actually. Anyway, I since I was a teenager, I have had various different experiences that I don't really want to go into because some are quite difficult to talk about, and my 20s, to sum up, haven't been that great. I've lost 3 close people in my life in my 20s. I've had a marriage breakup, and yeah, I went to university, got a degree in animal science, which is brilliant. I only finished that last June, so it's only just under a year ago. And since then, I have developed psoriatic arthritis. So not only did I have psoriasis to deal with, I now have psoriatic arthritis, which, as someone who's 29, is a real blow. I knew I had the condition months before I actually got the official diagnosis because, like I said before, I've done my own research for years. My doctor at 16 never ever pre-warned me that I could get the arthritis. It was through loads of research that I found out I could get that. So yeah, all my symptoms matched. I was struggling to like carry my bags to uni because it was in my wrists. Typing was an issue. Writing for long periods of time in lectures was a pain. Walking to and fro, like on the trains and stuff. My Achilles were flaring up. I actually had one of them injected a few years ago because they said I had Achilles tendonitis. Well, actually, looking back, I think I've had this condition for longer than the last year because all my symptoms just got so bad in final year of uni, but they have slowly progressed before that. So, yeah, I now deal with headaches quite a bit, like here. I don't know if this is relevant to the arthritis or not, but I'm tired all the time. Doesn't matter how much sleep I get. I'm still covered in head to toe in psoriasis. I mean, at the moment you can't really see it on my face because I have been on methotrexate since July, and for some reason over winter it seems to have cleared up on my face. But I have patches on my ears. I have it from like the neck down, everywhere. It's a lot better than it was, but when it's really bad it burns. I had it so bad when I was younger that I couldn't sleep because I was itching and making myself bleed all the time. So I used to take antihistamines, but that was out of sheer desperation for sleep. But now I don't find it hard to go to sleep because I am so tired that I go to sleep, although sometimes it takes longer to get to sleep because I've got pain somewhere. Once I'm asleep, that's it, generally, until I wake up. But I've also learnt ways to help myself over the time, like having oilatum baths every day, using Cetraben cream from the doctors, that's just a moisturiser. Yeah, like that kind of thing, really. The arthritis, I'm still getting my head around because it's still quite a fresh diagnosis. Like, I got diagnosed that in May last year, funny enough, the same day that my granddad died, so that was a really bad day for me. I've had so many different appointments with rheumatology, dermatology. I've had an appointment. I've been seeing a occupational therapist, like an OT lady, for the last few months, and she's really nice. Didn't ever think I'd need an OT, but you know, this is all new to me as well. So She's given me splints, which help my wrists because they're the most problematic areas, like on the tops of my wrists there. Again, the psoriasis isn't really visible, but the pain is just really bad. Yeah, I get lower back pain. I thought it was just to do with my period every month, but I think there's something else going on there now. I've had my right hip flare up. I've had my ankles flare up. I did have an episode of my knees, but that was really short and not really that much of a problem, so I kind of ignored that. But my left elbow is particularly bad when my left wrist is bad. So I think yesterday I had the pain all the way up my arm. I get really sore neck and shoulder muscles, and I've had that all my life anyway, where I think that's where I carry my stress. But again, through trying to understand my illness, it's like apparently that's common. So that's that really. The reason I'm doing these videos is to help me understand myself a bit more, because although I am talking to a camera, I don't normally voice my feelings or my opinions to anybody. So this helps me like look back at myself and work out like how to improve things for myself, but also to see if I can help anyone else, because you know, like I say, I've never met a physical person with this. The only support I've got is like other people who have this. I've joined Facebook groups of people that have got the same illness as me, and some people unfortunately have got others as well, which I really don't want to have. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've been doing my own research recently about going vegan. Through university, I learned about how animals are treated in the industries, and I'm really against that, the way they're treated. I have my own pets as well, so you know, if it happened to one of them, like, I'd be really distraught. So why am I paying to eat this stuff that, you know, it's not good because the animals are suffering for it? So I pretty much have been vegetarian for the last 2 years, possibly, maybe the last one significantly. But I've been watching documentaries like What the Health, Cowspiracy, all these different, I can't remember all of the names, but there are some really poignant ones that everybody knows, all based around like plant-based eating and how the average diet affects our health and stuff. So while I'm not currently working, I've been at home contemplating veganism and deciding to take my health seriously, because emotionally I can't cope with this illness anymore, really. I mean, I'm 30 in 4 months, and I don't want to have a life where I'm always ill. Like, I always feel like I've got flu, or I'm like the headache. Like now I've got this horrible ache here, but it's going down my neck and making me feel a bit like off balance or like sick feeling. I don't feel like I'm going to be sick, but it's just horrible. I just feel like I want to sleep all the time, and I can't live like that. It's just not a way to live, really. So I am making these videos to explore plant-based eating, basically. And so far I have really taken it seriously, actually, this time round, because I've watched too many videos to suggest that actually I could heal myself with a plant-based diet. So I'm thinking, well, I'm currently on methotrexate, injections every week, which I absolutely hate doing. I don't know how people who have got diabetes cope with this, because they do it like several times a day. But I get anxious now every week knowing that it's going to come up to jab day, and I really don't like putting this stuff in my body. And I know the doctors will say, oh, it's going to help your skin clear up and it's going to slow the progression of arthritis down. And I'm like, I'd rather just cure it if I can. I mean, I'm not silly in the fact that I know that this may not work and I may end up having this condition forever, but I'm going to do what I can to make myself feel better, because I can't imagine living another 30 or 40 years like this and having it getting a lot worse. So that's where I'm at so far. I have already uploaded tonight's meal that I've had, or today's meals even, because I made the decision last night that I am going completely vegan, pretty much. I haven't ever really eaten dairy. I was told by a natural lady that, I think she's a homeopathic lady actually, that leaky gut is caused by intolerances to wheat and dairy, and she said from a kinesiology muscle test that I shouldn't eat wheat and dairy, and I found that out about 3-4 years ago. So I pretty much have avoided dairy since then. Wheat is a bit more tricky. Gluten-free bread is ridiculous prices. It's just like half a normal loaf is £2.50, whereas you can get a big full loaf that's got gluten in it for £1. And I've been a student and I'm now currently not working. I'm waiting for a start date for work, so I can't afford to budget that amount of money for gluten-free bread that you could go through really quickly. And to be honest, it tastes like cardboard, so I don't really like eating it. But yeah, like, you've got gluten-free pastas you can get. There are I've got gluten-free Weetabix, but they're actually called NutriBrex from Tesco, and they're really nice. I eat soya yogurt, soya milk, although I'm thinking of switching to like rice milk or something, because I've heard that a lot of soya is not good for you either. So yeah, the only thing I've ever eaten really that is not vegan is like tuna. Salmon I do like, but to be honest, that's another thing I don't buy because it's just so expensive. So if I've ever had anything seafood, it is tuna in a sandwich or in a jacket potato or something. Meat, I always have like corn versions of meat, so everything that I eat meat wise is, well, it's not even meat, it's just vegetarian alternative. So and I don't eat eggs. I don't like eggs anymore. Like, I used to like scrambled egg, but when you make it and they go stringy, it just really puts me off. So now I like making scrambled tofu and putting loads of herbs in it. So I have that as my alternative. I drink far too much cola. My family always nag me about this all the time. And to be fair, they have actually got a point. But you know, no one's perfect. So yeah, I have decided also to cut down my soda or fizzy drink intake. So, because today I went babysitting and I noticed that after a glass of cola, this headache thing came back again. And I've had a bit tonight as well, and I'm thinking that that is related to the headaches, possibly. So yeah, I'm going to monitor how little, like having soda in little amounts and seeing what the reaction is. If I keep getting these headaches, I'm just going to cut it out completely, which is ultimately what I want to do anyway. So yeah, it'd be nice to hear from other people. Like, I found watching other YouTubers and then being brutally honest in front of the camera really helpful. So as much as I don't necessarily like my appearance on camera or hearing my voice on camera, I am happy to keep making videos for people. If anyone has any tips or comments, or if there's any information you want to know, then feel free to add comments and stuff. Like I say, I'm a complete newbie at this, so I don't know how much information I can give people, but at the moment, but I am in this journey for good now, and I'm hoping that I will see some results soon. And I feel better already, like today, knowing that I've eaten with a clear conscience. Like, I've just had vegetables, like I've had soup today, and a load of fresh and cooked veggies tonight. And aside from that, and a bit of cola, which is not, I haven't had like a bad day of eating. Like, I haven't eaten loads of crisps or anything like that. So it's been quite a good food day, I think. I'm trying to up my water intake as well, because I like squash, but I know squash isn't necessarily the best because of the sugar content. So I think tomorrow I'm going to try, I haven't got actual raw lemons, but I'm thinking, I've got lemon juice in the cupboard, so I'm thinking of finding out if that's okay to put like in water to make a detox drink in the morning, because I've heard that a lot of people have like lemon water as soon as they wake up, before they have like a cup of tea and stuff, because it gets rid of toxins out of your body and helps boost your metabolism. So that's what I'm going to try tomorrow, and look at making smoothies and lentil stew, which reminds me I do need to go and soak my lentils tonight, because I forgot to do that earlier. So yeah, that's me basically. So I look forward to going on this journey with other people, and yeah, like I say, if you want to connect with me at all, that's fine. I'll try and respond to comments and stuff. Again, please respect the fact that I am new to all of this, so it's a journey as much for me as anyone else. But yeah, it's quite an exciting one. I'm looking forward to changes and learning more, sharing information with other people. And yeah, if you've got the same illness as me, then feel free to reach out, because the more people that can connect with this, because there's quite a stigma attached, the more we can be there to support each other, it means that it's not so lonely for everyone. So yeah, I'm gonna go now, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.